Vilco Weather Hazards update. The Vilco Weather Hazards alert remains in effect through 4 p.m. Current thunderstorm activity is on the wane and has moved across mainly southern parts of New England, across portions of southern Vermont, and this is now exiting out to sea. The area that seems to be most active is this portion of over Pennsylvania, this particular area. And we're seeing some active thunderstorms here, but we're not completely done yet. We're still seeing some thunderstorms off north and west of Ottawa. We did have some northwest of Kingston that had fallen apart a bit. And however, this is where the cold front is, and this cold front is going to be moving into an area where there could be some instability developing based on the latest satellite images. And taking a look at that, you can see a little bit of break in the action here across portions of western Vermont. Some of the webcams do show a little bit of sunshine. This is going to aid in instability. And the best instability is still out to the west of us. The meso-analysis showing the best capes, even though it's a little bit weaker, and the best chances for the strongest thunderstorms remain across portions of southern Vermont. Some of this could catch up. We heat up and start to see a little bit of instability across the eastern portion of Vermont. I still think the eastern part of the Northeast Kingdom and then back down into southern Vermont is going to be the best bet to see any kind of strong to severe potential. And right now there is a watch that covers the southeast corner of the state, but this is associated with that first batch, I believe. And the HRRR model here does show that at noontime, most of the city rains have exited the region, and this continues to and then fill in a little bit here with some scattered thunderstorm cells, mainly across the Connecticut River Valley, and also up in the Montreal area. And over time, those would be relatively widely scattered. This is valid at 4 o'clock. You can see the northern tier areas getting it, parts of central, south central Vermont, and so forth. By 5 o'clock, it looks like things begin to finish up, and certainly by 6 o'clock, conditions should be improving at that point of time with a clearing line starting to work into the region. Convective available potential energy, or CAPES, remain off to the west of us at noontime here, modeled by the HRRR, and they peak out roughly about 3 o'clock, 2 to 3 o'clock or so, then start to be on the wane as conditions begin to see more stable air make a run into the region from the west. Incidentally, these winds could be gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. With a lot of saturated ground right now, this could be problematic for slightly lower thresholds and potential for some uprooting across those areas that have seen so much rainfall. And this is areas that have been supporting the most precipitation. You can see this is month to date, so up through today's date, June the 23rd, we're looking at 6.5 inches at Morrisville, 6.9 inches in Burlington. Some areas a little bit north of the Canadian border are up in the better than 10-inch category. And of course, a drier area across really the southern 4 counties. So these areas here have probably susceptible to uprooting conditions due to the very soggy, saturated soils. In terms of thunderstorms, though, the strongest bulk shear, again, 45 to 50 knots. This peaks out roughly about 18:02 o'clock this afternoon. Then it starts to pretty quickly begin to lose a lot of its intensity below 30 knots, even before sunset tonight. By that time, the cold front will have moved on through. We should be in some pretty safe ground at that point in time. However, the next few hours will make the difference. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.